Hey everybody, welcome back. This is week 31, 31st video. It's Jay-Z from downtown Cleveland at 12th and St. Clair. Guess what we have today? We have two CEOs. The CEO of Breakthrough Public Schools, Mr. Alan Rosskamm, the CEO of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, Mr. Eric Gordon. Repeat performance. Eric, I think you and I were here 4 or 5 weeks ago doing this, but it's so important. This levy is taking on a really important thing for Cleveland, and I think we got to talk about it. But I want to start with you, Alan. And Alan, why is it so important for public charter schools like Breakthrough to partner with it?
Well, takes me back to almost 9 years ago when Eric and the mayor invited Breakthrough to participate in the creation of the Cleveland Plan, something that was unheard of at that time for charter schools to be invited. And the idea from the very beginning was, how do we work together on behalf of all Cleveland kids? Since then, we've asked the district to be our sponsor. That's something that's also unusual. And we're just proud to be partnered with the district on behalf of Cleveland's children.
Yeah, and I think
you were acknowledge also that the district's one of the highest rated sponsors in the state of Ohio, which is unusual for school districts. And that's because of great partners like you.
Good to hear.
That's very nice. And Eric, I was just going to ask you, Eric, and say to you, first of all, you were one of the first districts, if not, I don't even know if there's many more districts in Ohio that sponsor public community schools, but certainly you were leading the way on that. And around the state, around the country, and we touched on this last time we talked, but there seems to be this adversarial relationship. Like if you are in favor of a public district school, then you must be anti-charter. And if you're pro public charter, you must be anti-district. Why did you kind of back then stick your neck out? And we did too, but why did you stick your neck out and say, no, that's not what we should be doing?
Well, it's a false choice, right? That means we're arguing about who owns children instead of arguing about whether children are getting quality education, which is what we all joined this work to do. And I think a lot of people fell in the trap of ownership, my kids, your kids, instead of saying our kids, and what are we going to do collectively to make sure that our kids get the education they deserve.
That's exactly right. So Rob, bravo for you for doing that. And I want to jump into 68 for a minute. And Eric, question for you, not a two-part question. Why is it so critical of this, pass for Cleveland kids? And secondly, what about this surprise anti-68? Where's that coming from? Do we know?
So why is it critical? It's 12% of our net operating budget. It's also money that is going directly to Breakthrough schools through our partnership. And if you take 12% of our budget away, we're going to have to make really tough choices. That 12% on was what prevented school closures, brought back laid off teachers, and reinvested in programming. If we turn it off, we have to turn those switches back on. We're not out threatening or scaring the community because we're going to pass it. But it does have major consequences if it doesn't. As to the opposition, we don't know who they are. They've worked very, very carefully to stay under the radar, stay hidden. Frankly, I think we should be skeptical of that. Part of our democracy is healthy, public, transparent debate about issues. And having people try to scare and threaten Clevelanders without even saying who they are, I think that should capture our attention. I would also say, though, that Clevelanders don't like being threatened and don't like being scared. And so I'm not sure it's actually a smart strategy either, as opposed to telling the truth. We need 68. We need this small increase after 8 years of no new money, $7 a month for the average home in Cleveland. And it will continue the successes we have and deepen investments in technology and programs like the arts and our early childhood and those increasing graduation rates.
And as I was walking yesterday on that literature drop in, I think it was Joe Jones's ward, a lot of 68 signs out. And when I would run into people on the street and hand them the flyer, they were like, thumbs up, thank you. So, I mean, it seems like the community's rallying pretty much. And Alan, I'm going to flip the same question to you because from the public charter perspective, Breakthrough does benefit, but why is it so critical to Cleveland overall, do you think?
Well, education is urgent, as we're all advertising, and it's urgent for very, very important reasons. First of all, every child deserves a full chance at a fulfilling life, at the American dream, and an education is critical to that. but it's also critical to our community, to the greater Cleveland economy. We all know about unfilled jobs because the education isn't adequate, and we're going to work together to do something about that for the good of all.
Good, good. Pivoting a little bit, a decision that, Eric, that you're struggling with, and Alan, you are too, is this, having our kids not be in the school buildings is obviously hurtful to them, and in many people's eyes, people say kids aren't getting it. Let them go back. On the other hand, we're seeing in the last week the highest number of cases in the state. But some will say, but they're not kids. Anyway, what is that like, and what are you thinking about, Eric and Alan? You can answer. But what are you thinking about as you're trying to figure out how can we bring our kids back in?
Well, we were planning to start bringing kids back for the second quarter, which for us begins on November 9th. And I had planned to announce that last Friday. Then last Thursday, we saw the new county data and it exploded, 53% increase in a single week in COVID spread. And when I talked to the health director here in Cleveland and in the county, they're expecting that the rate is going to go to 350 to up to 1,000 cases a day just in the county by November 1st, before we would even be back. So we made the difficult but right decision to remain remote for now. It is not ideal, but I will tell you, our kids and our families and our teachers are getting better every day. And the more that we focus on that learning relationship and making sure that we're all communicating and we're finding out who's struggling and how do we help them, we'll make this work. We have to. And I'm much better. I would much rather be bringing kids back and catching up after the pandemic's over than bringing kids back, sending them home, and killing aunties and grandmothers who are caregivers. Our community is 86% people of color, and we know COVID has afflicted the Black and Hispanic community at 4 times the rate of the white community. Our people are essential workers. Our people have health disparities. They're at risk, and our jobs are to make sure that they are safe and learning, not learning at risk.
Alan, how is Breakthrough doing with remote learning, and are you thinking the same way Eric is on this?
Very much so. In fact, we were probably on a longer timeline to bring kids back. In any event, we invested tremendously in change technology, change curriculum in order to do a great job with remote learning. Our parents just gave us some very positive feedback. But as Eric said, we can get better and are getting better every day. Our kids are getting better at it and our teachers are getting better at it. It's a heavy lift, and I admire our teachers tremendously. So we've got a timeline. We will go back out to our communities, both our teaching community and our parent and our families. But everything's got to calm down from a COVID point of view before that even makes sense.
Got it. Okay, final question for each of you. This is the most important question of the day. Eric, Steelers or Browns, and by how much?
I'm not going to give a spread, but it'll be the Browns.
Alan?
Absolutely. It's our tie.
I see you must have a brown shirt on underneath there.
Browns.
Yeah, I will be putting mine on after I'm done working here, but in full disclosure, my mother lives in Pittsburgh. I went to junior high and high school. Go Browns.
Good. All right, everybody. Listen, Jay-Z checking out for this week, and if you want to help continue the work that we're doing, you can go to breakthroughschools.org, the Victory Fund. It's going to help make sure that we have technology for all the families and keep our teachers going strong. So anyway, Eric, Alan, thanks so much. And everybody else, see you next week.
Take care, guys.